Old school Raw. That's right, old school Raw. Now, is this like old school from the 90s or maybe the early 2000s? No, this is more like old school from like 2008, 2009, where it's fucking John Cena versus Randy Orton and a whole lot of garbage. Wrestling review for Monday Night Raw episode January 6th, 2013. Couple of things I want to talk about before I actually start the review of the show. First of all, old school Raw got all the legends out there, and I know they parade them around a lot when they do these old school kind of shows to bring out all the old superstars, but more on this episode more than ever before did it literally feel like a fucking parade. Like they were just shuffling as many guys out there as they can. I felt bad for them, and they were all acting so fucking stupid and ridiculous, like a bunch of fucking retards just dicking around. Like, I don't, it's just really stupid. And Ted DiBiase, I want to talk about Ted DiBiase. Backstage, Big E Langston walks past him, I think, and he's like laughing his ass off. What the hell is he laughing about? Is he laughing because his son got fired? He got fired or he quit? I can't remember, but either way, he had a pretty garbage fucking run during his tenure in the WWE. I guess that's got the $1 Million Man pretty fucking happy. He's like, yeah, Vince McMahon, oh, he treats my kid like shit, but he's got me by the balls, so I still gotta come out here and laugh my ass off on TV. Yeah. Anyway, let's start the review. Show opens with Ric Flair. Doesn't really say a whole lot. Pretty general, generic stuff. Then Orton comes out. More generic stuff. Then Cena comes out. And I have to watch John Cena rape Ric Flair of his crowd reaction in a very obvious attempt to put Cena over. And that definitely felt like old school Cena, that's for goddamn sure. People cheering for John Cena as he labels off Ric Flair's career accomplishments is not the same thing as people cheering for John Cena because they like John Cena. I mean, come on, WWE. If your age is 12 and up, most people are going to figure that out. Okay, they're not fooling anybody. Then we had the first match of the night, the Usos and Rey Mysterio versus the Wyatts with Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan, he did not speak at all to the crowd addressing why he turned heel. They just completely fucking ignored it. He did not react at all to the crowd reactions he was getting. I guess that's the WWE's way of just addressing the huge popularity is by not addressing it at all. Like, completely not at all. And just hoping that it goes away. But it was still there. The crowd still popped for Daniel Bryan, popped for the moves he was doing during the match. And, yeah, the match was alright. Bryan, he tagged himself in at one point, then Luke Harper tagged himself in, told Bryan to get out. That caused Harper to get rolled up, and the Wyatts actually lost the match. I don't know how to feel about this. I kind of think it feeds a little bit into that whole scenario where Daniel Bryan could have joined the Wyatts to defeat them from the inside. I mean, he cost them their first match together on Raw. And the announcers made it a point to keep bringing that fact up, that there was a miscommunication between Bryan and the Wyatts. I don't know. Next week, he's supposed to team with Bray Wyatt. We'll see what happens there. So far, though, I don't like it. I'm pretty sure the WWE is just traveling down this ridiculous fucking road to nowhere. We'll see what happens, but my hopes are pretty much non-existent. And they're talking about some big announcement on Wednesday night, which is tonight, and a bunch of big-time players are going to be there, even Stone Cold. And I'm pretty sure I'm putting my money on the WWE Network. That's what this announcement's going to be. That they're going to announce probably the date that the WWE Network is going to go live, and, well, I'm not getting it. I don't know of a lot of people that are going to get it. So up next was Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel. Ryback was on commentary. Match was okay, nothing spectacular. It was pretty short. Big E won. No big deal. And we had Piper's Pit with the Shield. Roddy Piper out there, all 3 members of the Shield out there. Pretty damn good segment in my opinion. Not too bad. Every single person on the mic was great. Piper was great. He was out there, but he wasn't too fucking far out there where he seemed like just a spastic old man. Ambrose, Dean Ambrose especially, man, this guy needs to be... He needs to have his own talk show segment, I think, man. I could just watch Dean Ambrose in the ring cutting promos, man, fucking for half the show. It would be awesome. Rollins was good, too. Even Roman Reigns was good. He only had one line, but it sounded pretty badass. Then Punk and the New Age Outlaws came out for an attack on the Shield. Shield ducked out, setting up for the main event later in the night. Really liked this segment. After that, we had... Alberto Del Rio makes his return, and who do you think he faced? Who the hell do you think this guy faced? I'll give you one fucking guess. It's the guy, whenever these two assholes are on the same show together, they're wrestling each other. Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara. Again, these two only wrestle each other. What the hell? This is so fucking weird, I think, that they only wrestle each other. I mean, I'm pretty sure Sin Cara... Since he's returned, he's had 4 matches, and I'm pretty sure that 3 out of the 4 have been against Alberto Del Rio. That is just fucking stupid. I didn't care about this match because I've seen it a million fucking times already. I don't care if it's real Sin Cara or fake Sin Cara. It's garbage either way. Then Del Rio cuts a promo about being better than Batista or beating him at the Rumble during the Rumble match, being the one to throw him over. Let me tell you, man, I don't want to see Batista versus Alberto Del Rio. Batista needs to do something better than that when he comes back. I hope this isn't the start of a build to that match. I don't want to see it. Then we get Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust. And Zeb Coulter's out there with this sign. One side says the best defense is offense, and the other side says a sneak-free zone. I actually thought that was kind of funny. It made me laugh a little bit, that stupid fucking sign. Overall, the match was alright. I liked it. Goldust, he wound up beating Swagger, pinning him with the final cut. And, yeah, alright match. Damien Sandow versus The Great Khali, Part 2. Why is there a Part 2, you ask? Because apparently last week the Great Khali's shoulders were not all the way down when he got pinned, and apparently only the WWE was paying attention to this because no fucking fans certainly gave a shit. Nobody wanted to see this match happen again, especially me. I fucking said last week, let's hope they don't show this again, and they have the exact same match 1 week later. Jesus Christ. This time we got Sergeant Slaughter as the referee. And this time Sandow gets pinned, but his foot is on the rope. But Slaughter doesn't see it, so Sandow complains. Slaughter puts him in a Cobra Clutch, and then they all dance afterwards. Wow. What a bunch of fucking garbage. Please don't have a third match, WWE. Please don't do it. It's so bad. And we got Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out. Paul Heyman cutting a promo for Brock. And Heyman, you know, he does a good job of selling how badass Lesnar is and how he's going to destroy whoever wins the title match at the Rumble, whether it's going to be Orton or Cena. Then Mark Henry comes out, and Lesnar puts him in the Kimura lock, and he breaks his arm. Then the Big Show comes out, and I don't know, man. Big Show, like, tossed Lesnar, and Lesnar ducked out of the ring and backed off. First of all, I've seen this match a million fucking times. Second, I'm not really sure why they're playing it up where Brock Lesnar has to be afraid of the Big Show, because if memory serves me, Big Show was the guy that Brock Lesnar destroyed at SummerSlam years ago for his first world title run, and he picked Big Show up and F5'd him, so there's no reason to be afraid there. I don't know. Maybe I've just been a fan for too long. I wasn't supposed to know that match has already been done. Oh, then we got some Diva garbage after that. Didn't watch it. And then we had the three-man band versus Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy, a.k.a. what the three-man band wishes they could be, except they don't have enough fucking charisma to do it. Oh, the wrestling in this match was nothing spectacular, but you should have known that going into it. It's just a lot of nostalgia here. It was fun for me. I always enjoyed the Worm. I enjoyed fucking Brian Christopher and his goofy leg drop that he does with his goggles on. Rikishi, he didn't give anybody a distinct face because I guess they're not allowed to with it being PG. Well, there's so many fucking restrictions being PG, man. But he did squash one of the guys. I don't know who the fuck he sat on, but he pinned somebody. Rikishi and Too Cool, they won the match. It was just a nostalgia feeling match. Oh, then we had the Godfather coming out, and he is leading the Ho train? No, it's like the old Superstars train. All the legends follow him out with his theme music playing, and I tell you what, you take the Hoes away from the Godfather, you don't have a Godfather. And I'm pretty sure that the announcers didn't talk about his gimmick in any way whatsoever and why it was so fucking popular back in the day. So if you're not old enough to know who the Godfather is or why he was so popular, I'm sure a lot of people were just fucking scratching their heads saying, who is this asshole in this goofy colored suit? Then Bad News Barrett came out in his high-rise podium and, you know, I skipped the rest of it. I'm done. I've had enough of that fucking garbage. No more Bad News Barrett for me. Sorry. That takes us to the main event. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And you have the New Age Outlaws. They're in Punk's corner. And Ambrose and Rollins are in Roman Reigns' corner. This match, well, it was okay. Wasn't great. I definitely thought that the Punk-Rollins and especially the Punk-Ambrose match were both better than this one. This was definitely a little too slow-paced for me, especially the first half of the match. It picked up towards the end. To finish the match, Ambrose, he caused a distraction on the outside, which Reigns capitalized on. He hit the spear on CM Punk, got the pin, so that makes Roman Reigns the only member of the Shield to beat Punk one-on-one, and they were all celebrating on Raw, but I'm sure that's going to play further into the Shield breaking up storyline, which I'm fine with. I'm ready for these guys to break off and do their own thing. I know they're pushing Roman Reigns, but I'd love to see Dean Ambrose, man. That guy is a total fucking package, in my opinion, and he needs to be a future World Heavyweight Champion. Then we had the best old school moment of the show, for me, in my opinion, is when the music hit. Jake the Snake Roberts comes out. He's got the snake in the bag. I felt like half the fucking crowd didn't know who he was because he didn't get a huge pop, but it was still really great to see him out there for a variety of reasons because he was really not doing so hot just a few years ago. But DDP's like rehabilitation system brought him back, which is pretty fucking awesome. So he makes his first return on WWE TV in a very, very long time. Drops the snake on Dean Ambrose. Really very awesome to see Jake the Snake out there. But aside from that, overall, I gotta give this episode a C-. It just was not all that great. And if it wouldn't have been for the nostalgia factor for some of the parts of the show, would have gotten a much lower grade. I mean, the wrestling was pretty garbage. The matches were only okay. There wasn't even one match I could consider to be good. Definitely not great. And there really wasn't any forward momentum with most of the major storylines. They just kind of reaffirmed what's happening. So, not too much going on. Kind of felt like a filler show. Alright, that's it. JB Squared, 61279 with a wrestling review. I will see you guys next time.